looking me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, 'cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, 'cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, 'cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone.
Good morning, viewers. This morning we are here at Fairways with you. This is the Tobago Updates morning show, and we are coming to you live. We are not in studio this morning.
Certainly not.
Rather, we are coming to you from Fairways Restaurant, and we're happy to be here with you this morning, giving God thanks for life. I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Maria Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean, and those of you viewing us here on the live. Good morning, morning.
Morning.
Julian,
Ria?
happy Valentine's to you.
Happy Valentine's to you as well, Ria.
Thank you. And I need to send a shout out this morning to my husband of 27 years. April is going to be 27 years. Happy Valentine's going out to you, babe. I love you. This is my lover for life. Just putting it out there.
Let me also take the opportunity to send shout outs to Laverne Simon this morning, of
yes,
course.
Laverne.
Very special at that, in my life, and I want to express thanks. And this morning, sending out Valentine's greeting from me, and as my daughter would say, Daddy, it's from you and I. So it's from Lavienne and Julian this morning, wishing you a happy Valentine's Day. Folks, it's Valentine's Day, Ria.
That's right.
Ria, I love the colors. We have to ensure we reflect, but at the same time to be a little creative with those colors this morning.
Definitely. Now, Julian, there was a time when Valentine's Day was more about women. Women sat back and relaxed and waited to see what was going to be brought to them for Valentine's. The tables have turned. There's been a bit of a switch, and a lot more men are stepping forward, and a lot more women are up in the game, up in the ante, and ensuring that their male counterparts, receive something for Valentine's. Now, viewers, I want to tell you something this morning. When Julian walked in here this morning, the place shut down. All right? We've been waiting to see this kit, this Valentine's Day kit. Julian will tell us more about it.
And this is the point where I want to, of course, send our appreciation and thanks to viewers. Checkpoint is one of our additional and new sponsors joining the lineup here in the Tobago Updates family. And this morning, blazer and shirt courtesy Checkpoint, located at Upper Main Street in Scarborough. We want to remind you, should you need to contact Checkpoint, remember to connect with them at 639-5148. Ria, they're outfitting me this morning, so I can't complain at all.
No, you cannot. And this morning, I am wearing Island Days. So you can check them out at two locations, Magdalena Grand and Cocoa Reef Resort and Spa. So we're going to give you some numbers a little bit later on in the program so you can contact them. And I'm telling you here, viewers, not just beach wear. We're talking elegantly casual. We're talking dinner wear, but all around the island vibe or the island feel. All right?
Yes, and really this morning we want to take the opportunity to send out Valentine's Day greetings to all our viewers out there. Those of you taking that time out to join us on the live, to start your day with us here. And yes, you might be wondering, this is not a background. This is Tobago Updates morning show coming to you live from Fairways, and we're indeed happy to be here with you this morning. Ria, any birthday shout-outs that we need to slip in for, for today, for the weekend?
Just before we get into that, Julian, we've got to talk about the lovebirds in the background. Okay, and these lovebirds are courtesy Ray Richardson, my cousin Ray Richardson, and NJ Farms and Pet Limited. So thank you so much. I think in a little while we're going to hear them singing, so we're hoping you're able to catch that.
And folks, it's a good thing Ria pointed it out to me. There I was sitting on set, ready to go, and I'm like, something is making noise behind me. Something is making noise behind me.
That's
then
right.
Ria said, that's the lovebirds, Julian. That's the lovebirds.
All right, so over to our birthday greetings. So my Uncle Neil, and unfortunately viewers, this morning we are unable to put up any pics, any pictures at all. But my Uncle Neil Richardson out there in Trinidad celebrated his birthday over the weekend. So Uncle Neil, love going out to you this morning. Lots of love from your wife Anne-Marie, your sons. I can't even say children because all he has is sons, 5 sons. Your sons, your daughter-in-laws, your grandchildren, your siblings, Uncle Ray and Elton, my daddy in Tobago, and the rest of them scattered throughout Trinidad, your nieces and nephews. Lots of love going out to you, Uncle Neil.
Read the lineup. Let me make sure I capture it well. From over the course of the weekend, my very good friend Kemba Cox across there in Trinidad. Want to wish you a happy birthday. Also sending birthday shout-outs this morning to Sean Benoit. Again, Sean and I, connected through JCI days. Want to send a happy birthday. Sean also celebrated over the course of the weekend. My cousin was also on this weekend, so I want to shout out Jason O'Connor across the Trinidad as well. Jason O'Connor, wishing you a happy birthday. And then there's my cousin celebrating today, Karen O'Connor. Want to wish you a happy birthday, Karen O'Connor. I trust that you have an enjoyable day. Birthday shout-outs also going out to Dion Dillon this morning. Dion Dillon, we're sending you birthday shout-outs from the Tobago Updates family. And we're also sending out birthday greetings to Caroline Stewart and Amanda Clark. Wishing you a happy birthday from the Tobago Updates family. Ria, there's so much. Yeah. And of course, I couldn't forget at all, my dad ensured that he had his celebrations.
Oh, happy to hear that.
Over the course of the weekend.
Julian, as well, that Toya Williams celebrated her birthday on the same day with Sean Benoit, and there's been a, every year they celebrate together. They usually celebrate together. Nice. I don't know if that happened this year, but
I saw Anthony ensuring that her friend had a time. Remember, we had Anthony on last week ensuring that Latoya had a time, and we trust that each and every one of you had an enjoyable birthday celebration. We send you all the love and greetings coming from the Tobago Updates family. All right, Ria, who do we have on the rundown this morning? Should I say as we talk love?
As we talk love. We have some interesting interviews, for Valentine's Day today. So coming up on the program this morning, we will be chatting with Alana Holder Finley, who is the guidance officer attached to the Division of Education, Research and Technology. She's going to be chatting with us this morning on counseling students during a pandemic.
I probably got to put Alana on the spot there a little bit to tell us, students who believe they're experiencing love versus infatuation and so on. But we chat about that as we get into the interview. And we also have on the lineup with us this morning, Councillor Orlando Kerr, Assistant Secretary in the Division of Education, Research and Technology. And he'll be chatting with us about Tobago's Education Recovery Plan.
And to close us off, we will be chatting with Assemblyman Zorisha Hackett, Assistant Secretary for the Division of Education, Research and Technology, about Tobago's Education Recovery Plan. So it's a beautiful morning.
Beautiful morning. And I think, Ria, it's important for all of our guests to start this morning's interview telling us about their perspective on love, not so?
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So we're looking forward to that. And I've seen everybody getting excited out there. And certainly, we also, you just have to put her on the spot, looking forward to that outfit from the Secretary. I trust that she doesn't disappoint on Valentine's Day at all. No pressure at all, Secretary. If you're listening out there just before you arrive, no pressure at all.
Allow me to make that correction. A secretary, not assistant secretary, secretary for the division.
All right. So we're looking forward to those interviews this morning. Ria, it's one of those days, Ria, I have to touch on the weekend. Thanks to Stacia and the Fairways, Ria. An enjoyable start to the Valentine celebration. I said to myself, I owe it to Tobago Updates, because I know Ria would be at home resting, to see what was happening here last night.
It would not be my hours.
Ensure to see what was happening here. And folks, I really want to say commendable at that. It was really an excellent start, and I felt that connection. Anyone who knows Julian Skeet knows that I'm a lover of soca music. Love soca music, and I do not hesitate to enjoy myself. And as such, it was really an opportunity to get that collab between Valentine celebrations coming in and the carnival that we are not celebrating in Tobago, but enjoying the festivities nonetheless. Valley Brunch, and I said, an event has really hit when it is the entertainers themselves leave the set and come to ensure that they also enjoy the celebration. Shal, Papi, Travis, Penny, the entire team here. Excellent, excellent celebration. I owed it as a duty to Tobago Updates to ensure that I was here. And thank you so much, Stacey and Fairways, for an excellent event yesterday.
Well, certainly. I tell you, Julian, for what you've been through yesterday, you're certainly bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning, and I'm really happy to see that. But I want to take the opportunity as well this morning to send out a special good morning to a lovely couple that we met over the weekend, Kellon and Danielle Hodge, well, we were on Zoom, but we were both panelists on a platform over the weekend, and I just wanted to send a nice shout-out. Kellon said to me during the session, he said, Ria, my wife has me singing good morning, morning. So, special day to you guys.
So viewers, at this point, we want to thank all of you for the continued love and support. Those of you joining us via TV, those of you joining us via radio, those of you joining us online, and of course our Facebook viewers. We want to remind you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7:27 a.m. and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. This morning we are coming to you live from Fairways, and we are happy to be here. And in this segment, we are chatting with Alana Holder Finley, and Guidance Officer 2 at the Division of Education, Research and Technology, and we're chatting about counseling students during a pandemic. Good morning to you. Morning, morning.
Good morning, Julian, and let me take this opportunity to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. Like Ria said, we usually focus on the females for Valentine, and I really like your red, bright red, radiant red kit, really exuberating in the environment.
Thank you so much. And viewers, you know, all you are seeing is just above the table. If you get the combination that goes beyond with Alana, outfit, on point, on point. Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show. This morning, as we are chatting, we're looking in relation to counseling students during a pandemic. One of the things we want to start with is what has been the general response of our students having gone into this pandemic just around March of 2020. And then we saw, particularly in 2021, the latter part, you know, I think the sixth forms and fifth forms would have been out. And then we saw that transition moving slowly, bringing us right up to now where we have standard 5s as well as the entire secondary school population out. So let's start from a very general perspective. What's been the response of our students in treating with the challenges of this pandemic?
All right, I'm glad you started at 2020 when the pandemic, at the end of that second term. And that was almost the end of school. And so the guidance program really focuses on a different area each term. So the first term will focus on transition. The second term will focus on personal social issues and academics, because that is usually when we prepare our students going into the exam phase. So we were just closing off. So when the pandemic hit, it really gave us an opportunity to do some research in terms of how do we engage our students in the virtual space, because we were accustomed to that face-to-face experience. So we had to do our research. How do we make the sessions interactive? What are some of the setbacks we would encounter? So we engaged in a number of webinars all day in terms of empowering the officers to work. So at that point, we utilized the virtual space of the website, the division's website, where we had those clippings. We did video clippings and we shared on the division website. We had PowerPoint presentation that we shared at the parent sessions, the parent chat groups and the classroom chat groups as well. So that is how we reached the students during that first part of the pandemic. After that, the division hired additional staff. So we were thrown into the whole idea of having to train staff, train counselors to be able to serve the needs of our students. Those counselors were actually paired with senior counselors, where we had a mentoring program, so they would go in and shadow the officers in preparation. So those new counselors, along with the senior ones, really went into the virtual spaces together, and then the newer ones started off January of 2021. So that's how we basically work with the students, and our numbers are always accessible to students, to staff, to parents. I don't know if you remember, we had that jingle with Cleon McPherson.
Yes.
Right. New normal, wash your hands, new normal, get your temperature scan.
Yes.
We used that for the primary school students who were going into the SEA. So to prepare them for the environment and what would happen when they enter the school compound, what would happen during the examination sessions and the protocols, that media was used to transmit information.
Tell us a little bit about the primary school students in particular, because of course they operate at a younger age, but I was very impressed. My daughter goes to primary school in terms of the fact that we saw guidance counselors coming in and doing sessions, those who were responsible for the respective schools in the different areas. Tell us a little bit about how important that was, particularly, as I said, for our younger students.
All right. Previously, the guidance officers, we had one officer assigned to 2 primary schools in Tobago. So they would have assigned days to visit and have one-on-one sessions or group sessions or focus group sessions. So the group sessions would be the classroom setting, or the focus group sessions would be where we saw that there was a particular need. But during the pandemic, we recognized that there were certain issues that kept coming up. Those issues had to do with grief, mental health, a bit of career, bullying, conflict resolution. So we dealt with the primary school level using a caravan. So we now have a caravan in place where we have 5 teams that would rotate and go to the schools during the morning period. And each team will have 2 sessions per day. We also have a parenting component, because we recognize that the parents were struggling in terms of managing the dynamics of the home space and monitoring the children. So we appear at PTA meetings during the afternoon. So our guidance officer's day does not end at 4, because a PTA meeting might be 5, we're there until 8 in the night. So we engage the parents during the afternoon in terms of giving them strategies to cope and manage the students.
What would you say has been one of the outstanding concerns over the period that, collectively when you all have your team meetings, you realize that, this issue in particular, and I know there may be more than one, but at least one that may be occurring across households in terms of coping in a pandemic, students, parents, etc., and how do you provide some guidance in terms of, in giving us one scenario and possible solutions or methods that parents can use and students themselves can use in their home space?
Remember, parents are used to being at work while the students are at school. So the teachers would manage the children at school. But with the pandemic, the parents are forced to manage the children at home and monitor them as well. And we have instances where the parents can't navigate that virtual space. So we had to have sessions where we actually teach parents, how do you assist your child or your children in terms of navigating this space. We had to work with parents in terms of coming up with a schedule to work with the children as well. Because, you know, you might think you're at home, so you don't need to have any rigid schedule, but you have to get up at a certain time, you have to get dressed, you have to have your breakfast. So we advise parents to maintain the same schedule as if they were going to school. And we also ask parents to reach out if you need help, because we are there to provide support not just for students, parents, and teachers as well.
All right. One of the other areas, you know, we have to use an interview like this to get the information out as far and wide as possible. Tell us, what are the expectations in terms of counselors operating within schools? Is it that students only have access to them during the school hours or the sessions that they show up? Do they have open access? Should they be able to call them at any time, communicate on issues? Give us a sense of what is acceptable so that students and parents are aware, for those who may have missed it during their regular sessions engaging with their counselors.
At the secondary level, the officers are actually at school as we speak. And officers usually have a designated time for counseling. But that is really on paper. It doesn't happen like that because students are free to engage the counselor at any time during the day. Our numbers are available to all our students and our teachers. And we have this system now where students, if they visit the counselor's room and the counselor is not there, you can write a note to that counselor, slip it under the table, and the counselor will get in contact with you. We also have at the Zoom sessions, you can privately engage the counselor in the Google Classroom. You can also send messages to your counselor as well. So there are a number of ways that you can go around getting to the counselor. We also have the online student referral forms that you can access anonymously and submit a referral regarding a student.
All right then, excellent. What sort of tips you would want to share just in terms of going about day-to-day life now in this pandemic, particularly with students who are already challenged by what might be their curriculum and their schoolwork? That already brings on a level of stress naturally. What kind of tips or guidance you would want to give our students with the added stress of having to go through school during a pandemic?
All right. You know, as adults, we usually ask children, what's the matter with you? Especially those children who are at the secondary level, rather than asking what matters to you. So it's really maintaining an open policy, open communication with children so that they are free to express themselves, so that they are able to discuss issues that are challenging them. And because of the confinement and they're at home, we engage students to explore their talents, explore their interests, see what makes you happy, engage in even bonding activities with parents. Find that area of talent, maybe doing planting. Art is another area that they can use for self-expression. And art really works too for the smaller children in terms of getting them engaged. While I'm on this, you know, play is a part of our development. And play is very important for children, especially fantasy play. So if parents can engage children in that kind of interaction, even those who are not yet out at school, so we prepare them for re-entry so that they know, okay, what are some of the certainties, what are some of the uncertainties moving forward. So play is really, really important.
Right, and as we close up as we wrap this morning's interview, the final area I want you to touch on is for the benefit of students that have parents that are frontline workers. I know that you're a parent yourself, guidance officers, people who have parents in the healthcare sector, people who have parents that are teachers, and while they're teaching, they're supporting their child as well. What's your guidance or tips for those individuals in terms of coping during these challenging times? Because you know it's going to be a little extra difficult for those persons managing their frontline responsibility as they've been doing throughout the pandemic, simultaneously their responsibility for their students. Any tips for them?
And I think those children have an advantage because they would have information from credible sources. So that would work to their benefit in terms of not being bombarded by all the YouTube messages or the WhatsApp messages that you might have, but look at your credible source of information and using that to propel you. It is also a time that might be stressful for parents and children as well when they get home. So I would think, again, use the activity to bond. Take a bonding time, a my time, a mental health time, a mental health day for the child and the parent.
All right, excellent. We're getting some tips there from Alana Holder Finley. Thank you so much, Alana, in terms of making that connection for us, because I know the information is particularly important to those tuned in, whether you're a parent, whether you're a student, whether you're a grandparent, auntie, uncle, just helping the family to cope in these challenging times. And, you know, I definitely want you all to remember, as she indicated, the guidance counselors at school, students are there available to you at any point, at any time. It's not just limited to a particular segment where they may interact. Thank you so much again for bringing that information to us. Guidance Officer 2 at the Division of Education, Research and Technology. And just before we head out, folks, I want to send birthday greetings on the live coming out. Happy 12th birthday to my grandson, Jaden Anthony, and this is coming from Ina Anthony. Hey, it's Ina. Good morning to you. We want to send out happy 12th birthday to my grandson, Jaden Anthony. So we're sending out birthday greetings. They're coming from Granny as well as from the Tobago Updates family this morning. Viewers, we want to thank all of you who are connecting with us on the live this morning, as well as all of you who are joining us via TV, via radio, and our various online platforms. We want to remind you, this is the chance. It's Valentine's Day. We are sharing the love. We want to encourage you. Put some messages under the live. Tell us about what does Valentine's mean to you? What does love mean to you? And folks, in the next segment, we'll have Councillor Orlando Kerr coming up with Rhea. And I'm certain he's going to tell us about his love story, or at least some part thereof, as we celebrate Valentine's Day today. Coming to you live, the Tobago Updates morning show here at Fairways. We want to remind you, viewers, to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
We party till we drop down there with a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards to our top
Tobago
story.
Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as
remains when
the public is
nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearsides Marine and Tobago fishermen.
When will the Roxborough Hospital be fully functional?
Of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window at the island
treasures like the Golden
continue
Waterfall
to rise in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service. service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. This is the Tobago Updates Morning Show, and remember, we are coming to you live this morning from Fairways, right here in Lowlands. But remember, viewers, it's Valentine's Day and it's about love. Now, this morning, it gives me great pleasure to have on set with me Councillor Orlando Kerr. I have waited a long time to say that, Councillor Orlando Kerr. He's on the program this morning, and he is the Assistant Secretary for the Division of Education, Research and Technology. And this morning, our focus is on Tobago's Education Recovery Plan. Good morning and welcome to Councillor Kerr.
Good morning, Ria, and thank you for having me. Let me say good morning to the rest of Tobago. And you and Julian would have been setting me up on this Valentine's Day, so of course I have to begin the program by saying Happy Valentine's Day to Tobago, but of course to my beautiful wife, Katrina. I want to wish her very, good Valentine's greetings, and we will fix that at the rest of the day. So let me get that out of the way, and so that we can conduct the interview, because you and Julian would have set me up. So let me just get that out of the way. So happy Valentine's Day to my beautiful wife.
That's right. PJ, good morning to you. Love going out to you today as well. Now, Councillor Kerr, we are talking this morning about Tobago's Education Recovery Plan. You sat in this seat as the Tobago tutor representative for a number of years. Now you're in a position to make it happen. Not just lobbying anymore, but make it happen. Give us an idea of the physical state of the schools in Tobago and how they're being managed.
All right. Well, our planning going forward is to try to be a bit more proactive in the way we treat with our maintenance plan at our schools. As you are aware, I think I would have mentioned it on the last interview that I did, that there was no vacation repair program in 2021.
Right.
And I guess that was due mainly to the fact that schools were closed.
Right.
However, you must have some foresight and recognize that at some point in time, school will reopen. So that we were challenged with the fact that our infrastructure is an aging infrastructure. It was down for quite a while, maybe approximately 2 years. And as you are aware, when infrastructure is not being used, it deteriorates rather more quickly.
Yes.
So we had the challenge of getting those schools ready for Standard 5 students. And we are still basically dealing with some of those issues, right? But our planning going forward is twofold. We are going to continue with the vacation repair program, because that is the period when you get to do major contracts at school, that July-August period when the children are away and so on.
2 months vacation.
Right, so that period gives you enough time to do most of the major projects at schools. However, what we want to look at, we want to introduce a new maintenance unit within the division. This unit will comprise of electricians, plumbers, and air-conditioned technicians. And these are the major areas that we recognize schools have challenges with throughout the year. And you have to, be running like a headless chicken trying to get a contractor here and there to deal with these issues. So we're saying we're going to build out a unit. And this unit will be tasked with the responsibility of going around to schools routinely.
Right.
Maintaining that schedule of maintenance on these units and so on. So that will be done year-round. And therefore, that will reduce the need for us to be doing certain kinds of things, because we would have been treating those issues in a proactive manner.
Let me ask you quickly here. Yeah. Over the years, we have seen units created throughout the different divisions. Units created, and good reasons given why. In terms of managing these units, because people collect salaries for doing nothing.
Yes.
Who is going to manage? Who is going to ensure that these units are doing what they have been set out to do?
Well, that task will be on us, because I don't think that we can justify to Tobago building out this unit and allowing this unit to fall asleep on the job. Okay. We will have to come back and account to the public of Tobago what has been happening with this unit, over the year and so on. And I cannot come back on a program such as this in a year time or in 2 years time and cannot report something positive about this unit. So we as Tobagonians, we are all tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that we deliver. And so of course we will have our managers and so on built out within the system to have that hands-on supervision, responsibility and so on. But therefore, the public of Tobago though will be able to judge to see how things are going and so on, because I would have gone on record before, and I know you're going to hit me that, talking about the fact that we need to be more proactive in our approach.
Right.
And therefore, this is one of the ways we're going to be more proactive, by trying to treat with issues before they arise and they deteriorate to a point where school has to be shut and that kind of thing.
Scarborough Secondary School. I know the secretary maybe I'll be able to answer to this.
Yes.
But you were also championing the cause for Scarborough, for teachers that attached to Scarborough Secondary School with regards location. What is on the table where that is concerned?
Well, it is definitely on the front burner. I cannot give you specifics as to exactly when, but it is something that I know that we are definitely going to look at. It is 17 years or 18 years now that school has been earmarked for relocation, so that we have to find some creative way of getting the funding to relocate Scarborough Secondary School. I mean, that is the reality. That school has gone past its life.
Yes.
But we have to try to find, I think the major challenge is getting the funding to relocate the school. But, I mean, I know the Chief Sec might be listening. As the Secretary of Finance, we're going to have to find a way to have it relocated.
All right. Now, you and I are both past students of Scarborough Secondary School, and since we were there, things were in somewhat of a bad condition in terms of the erosion.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So I know it's on the front burner for you guys.
It is.
Okay, as well, the nature of teaching has changed, and the way the division, in fact, how is the division working to facilitate those changes?
All right, so that question can be answered in many different ways. All right, I mean, it's no secret that we have been online for 2 years. I have my feelings about the online situation. It's a stopgap measure, really, because nothing can replace face-to-face learning. I mean, that is the reality. I'm a teacher, so I can tell you the kind of work that you could cover, face-to-face, you cover a fraction of that online. But based on what was happening with the pandemic and all of that, we couldn't responsibly, leave our students and wait until we can go back face-to-face.
Right.
So that we had to go online. And in line with that, the division would have provided
devices.
Laptops and tablets and so on for students and for teachers. And we will continue to do that because we recognize that the technology has a very important part to play in education. But I think that we have to also look at trying to get our students back out. We know that, the mental health issues that will arise from our students being at home and so on. Additionally, education is supposed to be that equalizing factor. It is supposed to be that instrument that allows someone who would have grown up in unfortunate circumstances to be able to lift themselves out of it.
Yes.
And sometimes, we know the challenges in terms of the socio-economic factor of some students being unable to afford internet and devices and so on. So that when they are out face-to-face, they are the ones who will benefit more from the system. So that we are looking at that. But we are not going to throw the technology out the window, obviously. So that there has to be some kind of way that we can, marry both systems so that it benefits our students. So that has to be the way we're going to, go forward in terms of our plan to continue to ensure that we reach all our students.
Okay. Now, COVID-19 is still with us. What has the division already put in place? Because last week we saw forms 1 to 3, standard 5, and already 4 to 6 out. So we're looking at the full secondary system out in its gear, standard 5. What has the division put in place to ensure the safety of the students and the teachers as well?
Well, one of the things is that for the lower school students, the entire population will not be out every day.
Right.
There's a rotation system. There were about 4 models that were proposed, and principals had the leeway to tweak the models. Tweak, right? So that in some instances, form 1 may come out one day and then another form would come out. So, but the desired outcome is that you would have 5 days in a 10-day cycle.
Right.
So that the children will be required to come out to school every week, not necessarily every day of the week, so that they get that sense of normalcy, that sense of coming back out to school, and also that face-to-face interaction. That is geared towards reducing the number of students at the school at one particular time, so that you can do your required social distancing and so on. In addition to that measure, we have our things to wash hands, masks. They're required to wear the mask. We have sanitization taking place after there's a rotation of classes and so on, right? So that we are hoping that, all goes well. But we know that there are challenges, and that is the reality of COVID-19. And every time I get an opportunity, I appeal to parents, because we have seen situations where parents are sending children to school who are exhibiting flu-like symptoms and saying it's a cold. We have to be more responsible, because those are the things that will cause the system to crumble, right? So once you have your children at home and they're exhibiting flu-like symptoms, we are really appealing to parents to keep them at home, because you run the risk of shutting down the entire school for the students. Yeah.
All right, but we're wrapping up here with you this morning. Councillor Kerr, anything that you'd like to say before we wrap things up?
Well, I would just like to ask Tobago to give us an opportunity to really show what we can do. I think that in many instances we have to manage our expectations, because it has only been 2 months, and sometimes you get unrealistic expectations of person thinking that as you hit it, everything is going to be fixed. We have some issues in terms of our HR issues, which I would have championed in tutor, and those issues are being worked on. Right, but the solution to those issues is not going to be an overnight fix. We are looking at a meeting with the commission. We have met with the commission, and there are some things that we are putting in place. So all I'm asking is that we be a little patient, but I guarantee you that there will be results.
Okay, thank you so much for chatting with us this morning, Councillor Orlando Kerr. Viewers, just before we go, just a shout out this morning to some of our sponsors: Hair Sanctuary, To Her Perfection, Mateo's the Master Cobbler, Island Days, located at Magdalena, and their number is 631-0960. Remember, viewers, share the live, share the live, share the live.
Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items, stationery, gift items, hampers, shopping gift cards, toiletries, small hardware items, and much more. We provide order and pickup service, even delivery to your door. We are your friendly community supermarket. Check us out today at Lamb's Best Mart, located at 22 Daniel Trace Canby, or visit us on social media at Lamb's Best Mart. Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items, stationery, gift items, hampers, shopping gift cards, toiletries, small hardware items, and much more. We provide order and pickup service, even delivery to your door. We are your friendly community supermarket. Check us out today at Lamb's Best Mart, located at 22 Daniel Trace Canby, or visit us on social media at Lamb's Best Mart.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 341-0715. God bless you.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. This morning we are coming to you live from Fairways, enjoying the ambiance down on this end. And in this segment, we are chatting with Secretary with responsibility for the Division of Education, Research and Technology, Assemblyman Zorisha Hackett. And by the time we are on the wide shot, you would understand she never disappoints. Good morning, Secretary.
Good morning, Mr. Skeets. Good morning, Tobago. Happy Valentine's to all of you.
And you know, she started in the right vein, sending out her Valentine's Day greetings immediately. So as we're going to start chatting about education, we're looking broadly at the education recovery plan. One of the areas we want to start with is teachers that continue to face challenges in relation to contracts and promotions and so on, and treating with those outstanding issues. Give us a sense as to where we're at. Obviously, we know everything won't be fixed in a day or a week, but give us a sense as to where we're at, the progress we're treating with some of those issues.
Sure. Well, let me just start by saying, you know, we've just been 2 months in. And, you know, that has been one of the challenges that we were tasked with from the beginning of this term. And I think the expectations would have been even more great because of the challenges I myself faced as a contract teacher in this Tobago space. And so that would have been one of the items that we placed priority on as an administration. And so we would have already met with the Teaching Service Commission. We met with them in January, early January, and we continue meeting with them because we have some challenges with our establishment here on the island. And I think that has been a challenge because of how quickly we had to get about 4 schools on stream, and just because of the process that it takes for teachers to become, you know, on that actual system, the establishment of our schools. And it has not been audited for a while, that's the fact. We have schools that are still operating under establishments that have now outgrown. For instance, Scarborough Secondary School, you know, it's a 7-year school now.
Dear to my heart, as an alumni.
Yes, and we just recently moved from junior sec status to 5 years, and now it's 7 years. So we have challenges such as those. But this administration, with 2 teachers at the helm, and I'm saying 2 teachers, we're always going to be teachers, this is definitely a priority for us. And so Tutor would have been having discussions with us as well. And as a division, we realize that our HR department, we need to become a bit more robust in how we treat with issues relating to engaging teachers, interviews, upgrades, issues such as increments, issues such as removing teachers from that temporary status to a more permanent status. And so all of that has to also do with digitization and treating with, you know, the paper, the stacks of paper and files that we have, and you know, just that general customer service and dealing with the unique issues each particular teacher may have. So that is one of our goals. It's one of our priority areas. I believe that we expect so much from our teachers. But if we have teachers who are not satisfied with their working conditions and their terms of engagement, then we're not going to get the best from them. And I think that that is one of the areas that we're always going to have challenge with, because we always are in need of the resource, that human resource, but the speed in which we engage them, and then we know we have that delay in how we process them. And I think we have to deal with it. We and Mr. Kerr and I have given that commitment. But of course, as I said, we're 2 months in, and you know, we have to be realistic. It's a backlog, and not only in the secondary school system, in the primary as well. And you have so many persons wanting to come into the system, so many persons already here waiting on those upgrades and those issues to be sorted out. That backlog.
It's a good time to make a plug as well for ECC. You know, ECC. You've heard them making complaints in the past and so on. Will they also be on the agenda in terms of treating with those issues?
Because yes, we just had an appreciation ceremony for ECCE teachers, and you know, that has been one of the challenges. Those who would have moved over from the civil system, for instance, you know, and then under the government, you know, that government system, they have always had challenges. We've had challenges where when it's time to retire, you know, that's where you really see, you know, what the issues would have been along their tenure. And so as a division, our commitment to sorting this out, at least this administration, just because you have persons who are directly affected and we understand the struggle, I think it has to be that commitment, and it's not going to happen overnight. Realistically, it isn't. But I think the concerted effort is what we need to have, and I think that will to get it done as well. And you know, I speak to my colleague all the time, and I tell him I think the division has two really passionate persons at the helm, persons who definitely would give their all in trying to, you know, to alleviate the concerns and the cries of the teacher, and not only teachers, right in the division, general HR issues. And I think sometimes, you know, we don't pay attention to the fact that the actual division, you know, have contract workers, and these contract workers themselves feel, you know, a bit disenfranchised by the fact that, you know, we need to get that HR issue. So HR is a challenge. I must give kudos to the team that's actually there now. You know, they've been making that effort to work along with us, and because they see the drive, they see the passion, and they see the desire for us to make it better, they're working along with us. So teachers, we're 2 months in. I mean, I took that oath on the 10th of December. Today's the 14th of February, and I think we've made some good strides, but I'm not one for us to toot our horn until we get some realistic goals that are achieved, and we actually can see that map, that roadmap of that success. And so at this point, we're working really hard on it, working assiduously on it, and I think that, you know, we should be given that opportunity to show what the results are. And Mr. Kerr being on that side of it, tutor, right, Tobago office, and me being one of those teachers, would have taken the same division to court. You know, I think that person should have that confidence that we're going to improve the HR issues at the division.
Some have asked on the live, is it a case that the HR units require greater staffing in order to be able to try to treat with some of these issues, even if on a short-term basis, to be able to make some moves and to, you know, to get a lot of the issues resolved?
Well, I don't think it's really a staffing issue. Let me let you know that in the Tobago space, for establishments to be expanded, that has to be done through cabinet. All right? And because it has to be done through cabinet, that has to be brought as a bill, and the bill is debated right here in Tobago House of Assembly, and then we take it down to cabinet. And you know how that green paper, white paper, you know how the process goes. And this is another reason why we've been clamoring so much for autonomy. You see, legislation on this island is a challenge right now because of our governance system is structured. And so that is why when we as the Progressive Democratic Patriots would have blown a whistle on what we saw coming or being pushed out there as Tobago's autonomy, we knew what the shortcomings of that was, and we knew what the implications of not having a good bill put forward, a good draft constitution amendment put forward, because all these issues are, you know, a part of that whole. And so it's not just a rush to get something going, but you have to look at everything else that is a spillover effect of, you know, that new legislation. And so, yes, I think that's the challenge. The fact that we just can't make it happen right here in this space. And so even if HR gets it going, establishment expansion has to come through cabinet.
All right, so we're looking forward to the necessary follow-up, and I want to assume,
Yes.
based on the commitments that came through the Chief Secretary,
Yes.
and I want to say the expectations are high, not just because there are 2 teachers at the helm, but there are 3. The Chief Secretary himself, you know, also,
and he himself
also being
would
a
have
teacher.
gone through some of the issues we're
Correct.
discussing here.
Can we see these as, is it possible that this would be some of the areas that will also form a focal point for the office of the Deputy Chief Secretary, looking at the autonomy bill? I know you're not able to speak for the Deputy Chief, but in terms of the team's
we
effort.
know what his role
yes.
is. Yes, and that is why we chose Mr. Duke, and Mr. Duke is going to champion that cause on autonomy and all the requisite areas that are associated with it. And as I said before, you know, sometimes we talk about, you know, what we're not progressive with as an island, but the key to all of this authority and extended authority lies in autonomy. And so that is why, you know, the political football that has occurred for the last number of years has been a real, you know, sore point for me and for all politicians who really have Tobago's best interest at heart, because we know the implications, we know what's attached to it, and we know why it's so important for us. You know, we think as a Tobago House of Assembly with some 5th schedule items of responsibility that, you know, we have some authority over the way things are done here. And we do, but to a point. There are certain areas where we definitely need to be more autonomous to get these items going and to ensure that the island is truly self-determined, you know, and that self-determination can only come there. And so, yes, Mr. Duke has responsibility for that. I mean, it's all of our responsibility, but he is the secretary that is going to be specifically charged with that responsibility to keep it alive and to ensure that it's brought back to Parliament and brought back where the Tobago voice is valued.
We have seen some complaints over the years, Secretary, where persons would have indicated, notwithstanding the fact that the Tobago House of Assembly Act gives autonomy in terms of one of the areas of responsibility being education.
Yeah.
We have somehow in the Tobago space, by and large, followed the standards set by the ministry, even at times at the cries of teachers saying, we need to vary our curriculum, we need to vary the way that we do things to ensure that we customize what we deliver to the benefit of our students here in the Tobago space so that they are able to maximize and derive maximum benefit from the education system. Is this administration prepared to use the full extent in terms of where that authority lies for education with the THA?
Oh, it sounds like you're prompting me so. You shouldn't even prompt me, because let me tell you, our Chief Secretary has already demonstrated that exemplary go-getter. Let us really understand as a governance structure what our powers we have and utilize these powers to the full extent. And you know, item 25 of 5th schedule, Act 40 of 1996 says education, including curriculum. And when I look at the last 96 to now, you know, when we've had this Act 40, I don't think we've ever gone to the extent of where we can go with education on the island. And yes, with the Secretary of Education being someone who is so passionate about life in general and passionate about the Tobago space and understanding our potential as an island. And I just love this aspirational tagline that our Chief Secretary has, you know, charged us with, to make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. And we just don't say it, we believe it. And if you are intending on being the greatest little island on the planet, then everything as an administration that we have responsibility over, we should take that responsibility and charge a course of development forward. And so yes, you can expect that. As a matter of fact, we're currently working on introducing some areas that is going to promote the Tobago identity to the curriculum, areas that is going to promote financial literacy, areas that is going to help us to foster and to enhance and develop the knowledge we have on our culture, on tourism, on the geography of the island, and history, on politics. And so these areas, to me, should have been areas that we placed as priority in understanding who you are as a Tobagonian. And I mean, even these items of autonomy and self-determination and all of that, you know, they're not ingrained in the Tobagonian, because, I mean, I remember when I went to school, we did social studies. But even in social studies, it was a Trinidad-based, you know, with Tobago on the side of it, like an annex into the literature. And so we have to be able to chart our own destiny And I believe that can only come by enhancing, right, and augmenting the curriculum and from preschool. And I mean, the informal education system should also have that to play. But I believe that we should make a concerted effort. And I and my assistant secretary and the division as a whole with our technocrats, we have an entire curriculum unit there. You know, we're going to introduce this new area. I'm not going to speak too much on it soon, because I believe in buy-in, and I believe that people should be consulted. I believe members of my division should be on board. And so when that's finished, as a part of a strategic plan, it's going to be presented to the entire island. And we're going to have those consultations. We're going to have buy-in. We're going to pull our elders in. We're going to pull our historians in, our politicians in, and we're going to create this new curriculum that, you know, would have snippets of what it means to be a Tobagonian. All the elements that's building that Tobago identity. So yes, Julian, you can expect it. I may even be calling on you, right? You know, the youths are into you and into your passion and love for this island. So yes, stand by and wait on it.
It's a good time for me to make a plug to indicate when we are looking at that system, I trust that the consultations would definitely include the Tobago-ness and that connection to the basics of our island.
Of course.
Because the challenge we have found, and you know, this is why I'm mentioning it, because of how important it becomes, is that we have students that go through an entire education system, and we're now learning about sites in Tobago, and we are required to promote that. So we're definitely looking forward to that
and collaborations would have to happen, interdivisional collaborations as well, because the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation would obviously have to be on board for us to promote that. We're going to have the Division of Finance, and then if we're promoting food security, then obviously the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. And that type of thematic approach to governance on the island is what this administration is going to promote. And you know, the overall vision can't be singular.
Yes,
it has to be collaborative. So
just as we look to wrap this morning's interview, I want you to just share very quickly, we saw some changes into the return to school. It was common that you would see at the forefront the secretary and the assistant secretary and the chief secretary, but we saw what was a display, and at first I thought it was random, and then I said, but everybody's doing it. Tell us very quickly about that return to school and those efforts that, you know, you would have certainly stood behind.
Oh, you know, I had something to do with it. But, you know, we just love doing things differently. We just love pushing the envelope, and we love inclusion. And I think that has been the goal of this political organization. Let's do things differently. Let's show Tobago that we can take a different path towards development. And so I was like, you know what, it's always about the Secretary of Education and the first day of school. And I think that, you know, we have 15 area representatives and we have 4 councillors and the presiding officer, the largest THA in terms of membership. And I was like, listen, every assemblyman has a district with particular schools where those same schools are going to interact on a daily basis with the assemblyman. And I was like, listen, I'm going to include the minority council, the assemblyman, the minority leader, and minority councillor. And I'm going to also include the presiding officer and have them go out into their districts, meet the students, go back to your alma mater, meet the students, understand what it means to be in this time as opposed to what it was when we did our common entrance many years ago, and they took the challenge, they took upon the invitation. And what's really struck a chord for me was to see presiding officer Abby Taylor and minority leader Kelvin Morris, because they attended the same school. They were just a year apart. And when I saw those photos, I was like, this is what it means to be Tobagonian, and this is what it means to really truly say you love Tobago. And what a better day to talk about it than on Valentine's Day, right? The love, you know, you're competitive, but then you put down the black, you put down the red, and then you just prove to us, to Tobagonians, that it's all about Tobago and putting Tobago first. So yes,
thank you very much.
That's a little initiative
Secretary
I want to keep
Zorisha Hackett, certainly, you know, in terms of making that connection. And viewers, yes, we know there's always so much more that we can chat about, but we got to take it segment by segment. Thank you very much, Secretary, in terms of bringing us those updates, and your entire team this morning, Assistant Secretary as well as Guidance Officer too, here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And I just want to assure those of you viewing in Trinidad, those of you viewing in the region, no, she's not just speaking from Terry. She's also a mother of young children within the system itself.
Yes, I am.
As we continue to make that connection here in the Tobago space, really pressing and impressing upon our politicians the need to make a fundamental difference. For those of you joining us in the live, we want to continue to thank you for the love and support that you're showing. And at this point, as we encourage you to share the love, not just the live this morning, share the love. Indeed, we go to Devon Adana with This Day in Tobago History.
Happy Valentine's Day. Today's segment is going to be about love of a different kind. It's going to be about love of culture. So this day in Tobago history, did you know that on February 14, 1994, Juve revelers around the nation were moving to the beat of a song about Tobago's most feared and notorious devil? According to Google.com, 28 years ago today was Carnival Monday, and for the 94 Carnival season, the late, great Tobago-raised Calypsonian, the Mighty Shadow, released Pay the Devil on the Kiskidee record label. The song was a single from his album Dingole, which featured other hits like Poverty is Hell. Shadow, whose real name was Winston Bailey, was the subject of an article written by a guest contributor on globalvoices.org. In the article, Shadow shared how he went to Barbados with Spectacular Tent, and a man he met said to him that he should sing the song he was to sing in 1975. The man reminded Shadow of the rhythm, which was pack, 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 pack. It was a song I was to do a long time ago, Shadow said, about a scary masquerader. Shadow continued to explain in the article that Pay the Devil is a tribute to one of the masqueraders of Shadow's Tobago childhood, a man named Abyssinia. Shadow said of the song, it's about carnival long ago. Abyssinia was theater. It's a great man I celebrating there. Abyssinia was Tobago's most terror-inducing carnival character during the 1960s and 70s. Soft-spoken in real life, Herbert Nichols, which was Abyssinia's real name, portrayed a black devil that struck fear into the psyche of children and adults alike in Tobago. He was from Government House Road and a mason by trade with the Works Department. At over 6 feet tall and skin as dark as night, he would often portray the devil by going up on his toes and carrying a doll baby. Abyssinia would ask questions which, if you did not know the answer to, you would owe the devil. The questions were, which train did you come down with? The answer, the Tonka Bean train. Who is the gatekeeper? The answer, Mr. Swazzle. What is the name of the doll baby? The answer, the damsel. Pay the Devil did not win Road March that year, but on Carnival Monday and Tuesday in 1994, it was difficult to escape the rhythm of pack, 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 pack. There's lots more after the break. Be sure to join us and share the live, share the live, share the live.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off. Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supply specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers. This is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you here live from Fairways. And Ria, this morning, you know, we must indicate in this closing segment,
Definitely.
I want to thank very much. I'm outfitted this morning once again by our additional sponsor that has joined us at the Tobago Updates family. It's Checkpoint, located at Upper Main Street, Scarborough. And we want to thank them this morning. The jacket, Ria, you see the connections inside with the color combination. It's not just, you know, the color combination is key, and the shirt as well, and they outfit from boys to men. And we want to indicate to you, you can make contact with them at 639-5148. That's Checkpoint this morning. Andrea.
Yes, Julian, we're talking Island Days, located at Magdalena Grand and the Cocoa Reef Resort and Spa. 6310960. Beautiful outfit, and I have to show you the beauty of it.
Yeah.
As well as my sandals, courtesy Mateo's, and I've got to show you. I'm showing a little bit of leg this morning.
Don't worry, viewers. She's gotten permission from Mr. George himself.
Keep the camera on the sandals. Keep the camera on the sandals, not so much on the legs. Okay. So we're talking Island Days. We're talking Mateo's, and there you have it, both sides. Okay, Mateo's, the master cobbler, as well as To Her Perfection and Hair Sanctuary. Now, Hair Sanctuary, viewers, caters for your wigs, weaves, braids, extensions, all types, accessories for hair, as well as treatment for your hair. I think we're hearing them, Julian.
I'm hearing some love boots. As well as I want to send shout outs this morning. Thank you very much. To my barber as well. Classic Cuts by Akilon. It doesn't come easy, Ria. It doesn't come easy.
No, it does not.
But certainly, thank you so much. And Ria, this morning, you know, as we're hearing the lovebirds there, before we even go to the lovebirds, I want to chat about this decor that persons are enjoying here this morning. Folks, this is courtesy Keys Studio, and it's a full-service creative agency specializing in, that was scheduled so that the lovebirds were coming in between this segment. Fashion styling, personal brand consultation and development, creative direction, and production. In essence, we integrate fashion, beauty, branding, music, art, and culture to create innovative and engaging editorial experiences. Our mission is to inspire our clients and the customers to always see the endless possibilities and experience an elevated version of themselves and brands respectively. Possibilities unlock. Now, Lovebird. Interested in unlocking your full potential? Follow the live at Keys Studio on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So well done, Keelan Whitlock and Keys Studio, for making that connection here this morning. Ria, do you think it's likely we might get a little pop in the next minute or two from the owner herself?
We can hope.
All right, tell us about these birds, Ria.
All right, now these lovebirds are courtesy my cousin Ray Richardson and NJ Farms and Pet Limited. All right, that's NJ Farms and Pet Limited for these lovebirds.
All right, so we really want to thank each and everyone for the continued support here for the Tobago Updates morning show. I want to let you know as well, can we find the owner of Fairways? Is Stacia here with us? That's my classmate as well, you know, Ria. We go way back. We go way back. Is she here with us today?
And while she's coming, Julian,
because I'm trying to find out what time is the Valentine's lunch today. I cannot recall, Ria.
And it would be lovely for her. We'd be happy to have her come on.
And I need to know if we're having Valentine's dinner as well.
While she's coming, viewers, I just need to let you know. You know, a viewer on the live said that this morning his son went out to school in physical for the first time in 2 years, and he wants to send Valentine's greetings to his son and his wife, Bibi J. Jabarali Porter. And these Valentine's greetings are coming from Kerry Porter, one of our viewers on the live. So Kerry, I trust that
sending the love
just as you did with, just as Julian sent the love this morning to Laverne, and you know he can expect great things later. And Councillor Orlando Kerr sent greetings to his wife on air this morning, and he's expecting great things later. Maybe Kerry Porter, as we're doing this on your behalf, you
will
can
be
expect
expecting
great things later. Okay.
I'm also seen connecting with us on the live, and we were able to connect over the course of the weekend. One of my former classmates at Bishop's, Tenessa Lawrence, is with us. And you know, that's an energy and exciting Tenessa and Garnet.
All on her own, and I tell you, Tenessa is not hyped on any sugar, any caffeine,
no,
or
not at
any
all.
alcohol.
That's just
all
a
of it is natural.
a natural energy. You know, and we want to thank you all so much for the support. I was able to connect with Tenessa as well as Crystal over the course of the weekend. We want to thank you all so much for the love and support for Tobago Updates, and all of you joining us via the live. Earl Williams, I see you out there. Anne-Marie Brathwaite, Godfrey Moore,
And let me just
Gail
put in
Lashley.
here, Earl Williams sent a message because he needed to see the entire kit and the hair. He needed to see what's happening with
this
the
is
hair.
the point where I want to send out that connection. Very good friends of mine, Earl Williams and Annette Williams as well. Wishing you all a happy Valentine's. And I know that Earl putting all the plans in there to ensure that she has a great anniversary. I'm going into anniversary mode now. Valentine's celebration. All in the connection with love here at Fairways. And folks, we also want to let you know, happening today at Fairways, we've got a special Valentine's Day. You know, Stacey is always very busy in the background, and she would avoid the camera if she could, but send all the information to make sure we're able to share it with you. The lunch menu, we have a lovely lunch menu that takes place today. The cost is $125 per person. Lunch runs from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. All right, so we want to encourage persons, feel free to come and dine and have a time here at Fairways, continuing to support. And Ria, we know it's going to be an enjoyable one.
Definitely. Now, I wish Stacia would come on set, because this morning she's also wearing sandals, courtesy Mateo's, a beautiful white on some. I mean, I really wish that she would, but you know, she's a little bit shy.
Should we assure her that she doesn't even have to say a word?
No, she won't have to say a word. All she has to do is just walk on set.
All right. So we are thankful so much for the continued love and support from each and every one of you, continuing to support the Tobago Updates morning show. We want to thank the entire team for making this possible here today. As we connect with you, you can always look forward to something different, something unique coming from the Tobago Updates morning show. Andrea, I must quickly slip in before I get into trouble. Birthday greetings going out to 78-year-old celebrating her birthday today, and that's Mrs. Bernadette Tony, coming from Sandra or Tony, sending you birthday greetings this morning. We want to say a happy birthday to you, coming from the Tobago Updates family. Ria?
And I'm going to leave it there. Julian is on his own this morning. I see Mr. Parks already looking at him. He's in for it.
And so I can't forget Uncle Doggy Love, who just sent me a message there. Cleve Simon, that's it here this morning. Wishing you a very happy birthday, celebrated over the course of the weekend. Cleve down here, and Auntie Veronica, love and support coming out from the entire family. We love you folks. Thank you so much for viewing the Tobago Updates morning show.
And love to my parents. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. And we're going to leave it there, viewers. Have a great day. Stay safe on the roads. Remember to wear your mask, sanitize, and socially distance.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Run for the door. All right, good show. Good show.
morning when I hear
I clean, forget I want to
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.